Happy Friday, everybody. We made it. Oh, man, we made it. Thank God. A few more hours. Weekend will be here, but hey, it's Friday. That's the important thing. We're going to do our Week 11 preview. Things that are going on tonight, tomorrow. Some pretty good matchups. There are some pretty good matchups. Don't know if we'll have the same weekend like we had, those, what was that, 2-3 weekends in a row. We had some great games, great upsets. We might, but who knows. Anyway, before we get to that, hit that subscribe button down there. And we got some news items. The woman that Georgia wide receiver Colby Yang roughed up, remember that? He got dismissed from the team. She has recounted her statement to the police and wants all the charges dropped against Colby Young. He was charged October 8th on misdemeanor battery charges and assault of an unborn child. Why she wants them dropped, who knows? Maybe she's saying, wait a minute, my golden ticket, I'm throwing him in jail. I can't have that. Who knows? Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy, he says he is sorry for ripping on critical fans. A lot of people used to like Gundy, a lot of Oklahoma State fans, but what I'm seeing online now, people are like, it's time for this guy to go. I don't know what's going to happen there, but people aren't as happy with him as they were. USC, not happy with their offensive productivity. They are benching quarterback Miller Moss, and UNLV transfer Jaden Maiva, I think that's how you say it, Maiva. He's going to start in place of Miller Moss this week. Florida, they said they are sticking with Billy Napier through 2025. Some people are happy about it, some people aren't. They have shown improvement, especially this year. Remember, A&M was just whooping the hell out of them, and then they started coming back. A little too late, but they made a good comeback. Great game against Georgia. Kind of lost it in the second half there. But they're going to stick with him. I guess they like what they see. They're improving and everything. I did look at their schedule next year, and it is going to be a tough one. So I don't know how many wins are going to keep him here next year. 8 wins, 9 wins. I don't know. But anyway, they're sticking with him through next year. And then Texas wide receiver Jonte Cook, no longer with the program. No reason was given. I don't know. He must have done something, or maybe he just got tired of this stuff there. I don't know. Anyway, no reason given, but Jonte Cook no longer with Texas. All right, so this week we have some games that time of year. Tuesday, Bowling Green. They are 5-4 now. They beat Central Michigan 23-13. Kicker Zach Long, 11 points in that game. Nice game for him. Miami of Ohio, they are 5-4. Beat Ball State 27-21. Miami of Ohio's quarterback Brett Gabbert, 3 touchdown passes in that game. Moving on to Wednesday, Ohio Bobcats, they are 6-3. They beat Kent State 41-0. Poor Kent State, they are 0-9. Not having a good year. Dennis for Ohio, 61-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Owen had a 47-yard punt return for a touchdown in that game. Northern Illinois beat Western Michigan 42-28. Both are 5-4 now. Northern Illinois quarterback Ethan Hampton, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. Telly Johnson, 141 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns in that one. And then last night we had a couple games. Coastal Carolina beat App State 38-24. Coastal Carolina running back Braden Bennett, 3 rushing touchdowns. Not bad. Then we have another Carolina team playing. Eastern Carolina. They beat FAU 49-14. ECU quarterback Caden Hoyer, 343 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. Also ran for a touchdown. Hell of a game for him. You know, he was the guest of honor at all those Thursday night frat parties. Okay, basketball, Tuesday and Wednesday, no top 25 upsets. Did have a couple last night. Harvard beat number 25 Indiana, 72-68 in overtime. Harvard's Turner, 24 points in that game. And then Illinois, they beat, we're not seeing Illinois ranked. They beat number 19 Florida State. Illinois' Cook had 20 points in that game. All right, so this weekend, some games that kind of stand out, some interesting games. Tonight, 7 p.m., ACC Network. Cal versus Wake Forest. Both are 4-4. Both have great passing games. Cal, remember Cal started out great, and then after that Miami game, man, they just kind of. And Wake Forest has kind of had issues all year long, but they're both fighting to get to that 6th win so they can be bowl eligible. 8 p.m. on Fox, 6-3 Iowa versus 3-5 UCLA. Both have good quarterbacks. Iowa's quarterback or running back Caleb Johnson, 1,279 yards, 19 touchdowns. Hell of a season he is having. Iowa going to the West Coast. Man, maybe the first time since, who knows, the Rose Bowl, maybe years ago. They play USC. I'll have to go back and look at their schedule. Saturday, 11 a.m., CW Network, 6-2 Syracuse versus 4-4 Boston College. Pretty even in the passing game. Syracuse does have a better rushing game. You just keep wondering when Boston College is going to get back on that winning streak. Don't know if it's going to happen against Syracuse, but hey. 11 a.m. also, Fox Sports 1, 4-4 West Virginia versus 5-3 Cincinnati. West Virginia, man, they just haven't been the same team since that first game when they blew it in the second half to Penn State. So, just wondering if they're going to get things turned around this season, being 4-4. 11 a.m. on ESPN, number 4, 9-0 Miami versus 5-4 Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has been known to kill teams' dreams the last few years. They've had a few issues, but anyway, Miami, a lot better in the passing game, but they are even in the rushing game, both those teams. 11 a.m. ABC, 4-4 Florida versus number 5, 7-1 Texas. Just talked about how Florida has been improving this year. Texas lost to Georgia, almost lost to Vanderbilt. The other teams they have played don't really have the talent that Florida does. You never know. Gators could go into Austin and steal one. I mean, crazy things happen, don't they? Not saying it's going to happen, but hey, you don't know. 11 a.m. on NBC, 6-3 Minnesota versus 4-4 Rutgers. Minnesota really starting to come on. Rutgers started off good. They're starting to drop now. I don't know what's going on there. 2:30 on ACC Network, 6-3 Duke versus 5-4 NC State. Duke quarterback Malik Murphy, 2,121 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions this year. 2:30 on ESPN. Number 23, 6-2 Clemson versus 5-4 Virginia Tech. Clemson better in the passing game. Va Tech better in the rushing game. These two usually have a pretty good game when they play. 2:30 on ESPN2, number 25, 8-0 Army versus 5-3 North Texas. Just because North Texas is 5-3 does not mean they're a pushover. They're a pretty good team still. Army quarterback Bryson Daly, 7 passing touchdowns. And you're like, wow, that sucks. 19 rushing touchdowns. This guy, he runs all over the place. But, like I said, North Texas, their quarterback Chandler Morse, 2,873 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. The big one, 2:30 on ABC. Number 3, 7-1 Georgia versus number 16, 7-2 Ole Miss. These guys are even in the rushing and the passing game. Both of them, though, need a win to stay in the playoff race. More so Ole Miss. I think Georgia could probably afford to lose one more, but man, if Ole Miss loses this game, I think their playoff chances are pretty much done unless a bunch of miracles happen in front of them, like we have seen past years. Think a team is out of it, and all of a sudden half of everybody in front of them loses. So you never know, but more than likely, if Ole Miss loses, they're out. 2:30 on the CW, 5-3 San Jose State versus 4-4 Oregon State. San Jose State better in the passing game. Oregon State is better in the rushing game. 2:30 on CBS, 5-4 Michigan versus number 8, 9-0 Indiana. Indiana is on the roll this year. You're just waiting for them to come across a trap game. Could Michigan be it? Probably not, but like we say never in college football. 3 p.m. on Fox. Number 20, 6-2 Colorado versus 6-3 Texas Tech in Lubbock. They are even in the passing game. Texas Tech is better in the rushing game. As we've seen over time, last several years, good teams on a roll. I don't know what happens. They go into Lubbock and they blow it. So we'll see if that happens. If Colorado can keep winning. 3:15 on SEC Network. 5-3 South Carolina versus 6-3 Vandy. South Carolina better in rushing. Vandy better in passing. Good matchup. This could be a good matchup. Both of them are pretty talent wise. You want to say South Carolina's got a little more better talent, but I don't know, man. This could be a toss-up game. This could be just a flip a coin and call whoever's going to win. It's probably going to be a pretty good game. 4 p.m. on ESPN Plus. 5-3 Arkansas State versus 7-1 Louisiana. Louisiana better in passing and better in the rushing game. 6 p.m. on ESPN2. 4-5 Central Florida versus 6-2 Arizona State. I'll put this one in because Central Florida is a good team. They just have shot themselves in the foot in those losses. And these teams, they are close in rushing and passing, even though Arizona State has Scatterboo, who just runs everywhere. Central Florida is still pretty close for them in the rushing game. 6 p.m. on BTN. 4-4 Maryland versus number 1, 9-0 Oregon. Actually, these two teams are close in the passing game. Oregon, a lot better in the rushing game. But Maryland going cross-country to play on the West Coast. Could be another loss for them. They could be 5-4 when this is said and done. 6:30 on ABC. Number 11, 6-2 Alabama versus number 15, 6-2 LSU. LSU better, even though Alabama has no rule. LSU is better in the passing game, even rushing game. These two teams, whenever they get together, man, they just and it's in Baton Rouge, so it's going to be a really good primetime game. 6:45 on SEC Network, 5-4 Oklahoma versus number 24, 6-2 Missouri. Neither of these two teams are playing as good as they have in the past few years. You just really don't know what's going to happen here. Can they come out on fire? I mean, South Carolina beat OU the way they did. I don't know, man. I don't even know who to pick in this game, even though Mizzou's got the better record and stuff. I mean, it's just anyway. 7 p.m. ACC Network. 4-4 Virginia versus 7-1 Pitt. Both good in the passing games. Pitt is a little better. You just keep waiting for Virginia to take off, but they just have not done it this year. 7 p.m. on Peacock Network, 5-4 Washington versus number 6, 7-1 Penn State. Huskies, even though they're middle of the road, they are a very good middle of the road team. Penn State coming off that loss to Ohio State. Cross country game. Washington going all the way over to the East Coast. That could affect them. All right, so your late games. 8 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. 6-2 UNLV goes to Hawaii. They're only 4-5, but they're an improving Hawaii team. Hawaii's got a great passing game. So that could be one worth watching at night. 9:15 on ESPN. Number 9, 8-0 BYU versus 4-4 Utah. Utah very disappointed the way their year's going, but it's an interstate rivalry. These two always go at it. That could be a good late game. And then your latest game, 9:30 on CW. 2-6 Utah State versus number 21, 7-1 Washington State. The reason I put this down, late night college football. Even though Washington State's probably going to roll over them, still, I mean, who doesn't like watching college football until midnight? And later, it depends. All right, so FCS, they've got a few good matchups. Most of the top teams are playing middle of the road to bottom of the cellar teams, but you do got some good FCS ones. 11 a.m. For some reason, no TV is listed. I don't know if they haven't found out where they're going to put this game, or they're just not going to broadcast it, which would be a travesty, because you got 6-3 Robert Morris versus 6-2 Duquesne. That looks like it'd be a pretty good matchup. Both these teams have great passing games, but like I said, I don't know. Maybe some other places listed TV, internet. I don't know. 11 a.m. on ESPN Plus. Good matchup here. Ivy League. 5-2 Columbia versus 6-1 Harvard. Harvard got a way better passing game, but they are even in the rushing game with Columbia. So 11 a.m. FCBK. I guess that's Facebook. I've never seen Facebook advertising college football games. I guess they show them. San Diego versus Dayton, both 5-3. Both of these teams have really, really great passing games. They can really air it out. 12 p.m. on the Flow. 8-1 Rhode Island versus 7-1 Delaware. Nice. These teams are very even in the passing game. Good big-time matchup with the FCS teams there. And we got one on ESPN. We mentioned those late FBS games. If those don't interest you, 9:15 ESPN2. 8-1 UC Davis versus 7-2 Montana. Up there in the Montana, and it might even be snowing because I know it's snowing in the Panhandle here in Texas. UC Davis, better passing. Montana, better rushing. So that could be a good one to watch late at night. Anyway, that's it, man. Short and sweet. Like I said, it's Friday. Thank God. This week is drugged for me. Hope it's gone by quick for you. Man, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy football. We are getting down to the closing weeks, unfortunately. Pretty soon, we're not going to have football all day long on Saturday. Makes me sad. But basketball has started up, and they're having some good matchups. They're going to have some good ones as this month goes on into December, and then we'll be full on in the basketball. So anyway, stay safe, have fun, have a great weekend, enjoy it, and we will see you Sunday, Monday, somewhere in there. Anyway, see you later.